Let me ask you something raw, something you might not even want to admit to yourself. How often do you feel your concentration slipping? Like no matter how determined you are, you're caught in an endless cycle of distractions. You sit down to work on your business, to make progress toward your dream life, and then it starts. A buzz from your phone, a quick scroll through Instagram, a TikTok clip, and before you realize it, 2 hours have vanished. But here's what rarely gets discussed. It's not just about the time you lose. It's about what's pulling your attention away. The truth is, many of us have allowed our minds to be hijacked by overly sexualized content, by the lure of instant pleasure, and by patterns we never intentionally chose. I get it, because I've been there myself. Let me share a story with you. A few years ago, I was facing a huge opportunity, a pitch meeting with an investor that could have completely transformed my life. I'd spent weeks preparing, late nights refining my pitch, rehearsing it so thoroughly I could recite it in my sleep. But when the moment finally came, I failed. Not because I wasn't ready, and not because I didn't know my material. I failed because the night before, I gave in to distraction. What started as a few minutes of scrolling spiraled into hours of aimless content. I woke up groggy, unfocused, and deeply disappointed in myself. That was a turning point. Something had to change. If you've ever felt that way, if you've ever looked at yourself and asked, why can't I stop doing this? Stay with me, because I'm about to explain exactly how I turned things around. Let's take a step back and understand what's really happening to so many of us. We're living in a reality that our brains weren't designed for. Think about it. Just a century ago, people had to actively seek out stimulation, information, and imagery. Today, we're bombarded every second by a flood of sexualized visuals, from Instagram to commercials to movies. Everything is engineered to activate one key response: dopamine release. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter that makes you feel pleasure, and in moderation, it's essential. But here's the catch. Social media and entertainment platforms have learned to weaponize it. Every scroll, every like, every suggestive image delivers a small dopamine hit, subtly training your brain to crave more. And over time, this relentless stimulation reshapes your neural pathways. You start losing the ability to focus, to connect deeply with others, to find joy in meaningful goals, your relationships, your growth, your ambitions. I didn't recognize how deeply I was trapped in that loop until the day of that failed pitch. Afterward, I began examining my behaviors more closely. I noticed how often I grabbed my phone when I felt anxious, how much time I wasted watching pointless videos, and, worst of all, how far I drifted from the things that actually mattered to me. It wasn't just about losing time. It was about what I was giving up, my focus, my motivation, my ability to be fully present with the people I loved. That's when I started asking myself the hard questions. Why was I letting mindless distractions dictate my attention? Why was I surrendering my time and my mind to things that didn't serve my purpose? And more importantly, how could I reclaim control? To truly understand what's happening, we need to take a look at history. Back in the 1920s, companies made a groundbreaking discovery. They could boost sales by targeting people's emotions, especially by triggering desire. This marked the beginning of modern advertising. Over time, this approach evolved into the hypersexualized marketing we're surrounded by today. But here's the problem. Our brains haven't kept up with this rapid change. We're still neurologically programmed like our ancestors, who lived in a world defined by scarcity and the need to survive. That means we're naturally attracted to anything that promises pleasure or excitement. In the past, that might have been a rare meal or the chance to form a meaningful relationship. Now, those same primal instincts are being manipulated by a non-stop stream of content that provides little to no real value. The outcome? We're overstimulated, mentally exhausted, and increasingly unable to concentrate on what truly matters. That's where I found myself, trapped in this loop. My business was faltering, my relationships were deteriorating, and I, above all, was falling apart. Then something clicked. If my brain could be conditioned to work against me, it could also be retrained to work for me. That realization changed everything. Imagine waking up with mental clarity, sitting down to work, and slipping into a deep state of flow, feeling genuinely connected to the people in your life. No longer constantly distracted. No more anxious racing thoughts. Just present. This isn't some far-off fantasy. This is what happens when you take charge of your own mind. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that. It all comes down to 3 steps. Reclaim, retrain, redefine. Step 1. Reclaim your inputs. It starts with being intentional about what you're feeding your brain. Think of your mind like a garden. If you constantly plant weeds in the form of distractions, hypersexualized images, and mindless entertainment, that's all that will grow. But if you sow seeds of knowledge, inspiration, and meaningful interaction, you'll start to witness real transformation. Begin by taking stock of your digital environment. Do a social media cleanup. Unfollow accounts that don't bring you value. Replace them with people who uplift and educate you, whether that's entrepreneurs, health professionals, or creators who share genuinely helpful content. I won't lie, this first step is tough. You'll feel tempted to slip back into old patterns. But every time you choose growth over instant distraction, you're reshaping your brain's cravings in the right direction. Step 2, retrain your focus. Here's where the transformation really begins. One of the most effective tools I've found is meditation. I know what you might be thinking. Meditation? That's not really for me. I used to feel the same way. But meditation isn't about sitting in complete silence for hours on end. It's about teaching your brain to concentrate, creating space between stimulus and response, and taking back control. Start small, just 5 minutes a day. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and simply focus on your breath. When your thoughts inevitably start to drift, and they will gently guide your attention back. With consistency, you'll begin to notice a powerful shift. You'll feel more centered, more attentive, and more in charge of your mental state. Step 3, redefine your goals. The final step is about connecting to a deeper purpose. Ask yourself, what am I truly working toward? What drives me? For me, the answer was building a business that offered both freedom and a sense of fulfillment. For you, it might be something completely different. Whatever it is, write it down and keep it somewhere visible. So the next time you feel tempted, the urge to check your phone, scroll endlessly, or give in to distraction, look at that goal. Remind yourself of what truly matters and what's at stake. Here's the reality. Every time you resist a distraction, you're making a choice in favor of your future. 6 months after beginning this journey, everything in my life had shifted. My focus was sharper than ever. My business was flourishing. My relationships had become richer and more authentic. But most importantly, I felt a new kind of freedom. Freedom from the endless tug of distractions and the freedom to create, connect, and grow. That's what I want for you. So here's a simple challenge. Unfollow just one account that's been dragging you down. Sit in meditation for 5 minutes. Write down your why. These might seem like small actions, but they're the beginning of something profound. Because this isn't just about rewiring your brain away from hypersexualized content. It's about reclaiming your entire life. Your focus, your potential, your future. Your brain is your most valuable resource. Guard it, nourish it, take it back.